baratiwa ke lamogela go YouTube channel ya ka nna ka leina ke sale Mina Tau Warama Samola. I would like to take this chance to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in, subscribing, and being part of the local Labarato. To all my returning subscribers, hi Maratiwa, welcome back. To all my new subscribers, hi Maratiwa, welcome to the family. Yay! On today's video, we're going to be talking about school life in Japan as well in South Africa, specifically comparing the school calendars in both countries. For those who don't know, I'm currently an ALT in Japan and I came here through the JET program. For those who already knew that, well, others didn't know, so now they know. So also I just wanted to share with you guys so that you guys can compare. You can see the differences between how school is approached in Japan as well as South Africa. When I say school is approached, I mean school life. Like, how is school life approached? How is the school calendar approached in both countries? There are quite a few differences, and I feel like some of them will shock you and some of them will be like, oh well, I mean that's expected because students have to go to school. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna share a lot of information. I'll just share a bit of like things that I feel like you might be interested in, especially if you're someone who lives in South Africa and you are looking into coming to Japan through the JET program or other private companies, or getting hired by a school and you want to become an assistant language teacher in Japan. This is information to share with you guys so that you are well prepared to know that things are very different compared to how things are done in South Africa. In Japan, the school year starts from April all the way to March of the next year. So their school year, it is 26/27. So April 2026 to March 2027. And is also divided into 3 distinctive semesters, or as you know them as terms. The first one, it is from April all the way to July, that is term 1, and then we have term 2 from September all the way to December, and then we have term 3 all the way from January to March, and that's it. The students' holidays are only 3 times a year. So, and then the school timetable, it is Monday to Friday, and then with occasional activities or classes happening on Saturday and Sunday. In South Africa, it is quite different. The difference is that South Africa's the school year starts in January all the way to December. So we have 4 terms in South Africa, and each term is roughly 10 or 12 weeks, depending on when the school year starts. But majority of the time, the school year, like each term, it is roughly 10 weeks. So we have school, the first term is January to March, and then the second term, it is April to June. The third term, it is July to September, and the fourth term, it is October to December. And that's how it works. And then just like in Japan, the classes are Monday to Friday, and then with extra lessons happening on weekends, especially if you are in high school. And in Japan, students actually stay until late on school grounds because of club activities. The school starts at 9 a.m. in Japan and it ends at 3 p.m. So students will stay until 5 p.m. And this is the same principle that teachers follow. Teachers are at school from 8 a.m. all the way to 5:30 or 6 p.m. depending on what the teacher is doing, right? The amount of administration that they need to finish for that particular day, or if they want to prepare for the next day's lessons, they will stay on later. And the reason they do that is because outside of teaching, they have a lot of duties such as supervising events as well as supervising club activities. A lot of teachers are part of club activities as well. If a student is part of like tennis club, that means they have a teacher who's in charge of that and who's able to, it's like their coach, but the coach is the one who's in charge. You know what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of club activities happening in Japan, so a lot of teachers are spread up around the club activities. Another one is that school life in Japan is very structured, so the teachers and the students know what they're doing day in, day out. It's very rare for them to, I'm looking for a word that I forgot. I will remember that word and I'll write it on the script. It's very rare for them to do that. So, yeah, to deviate from the daily routine. Now, school life in South Africa. So school days in South Africa are usually shorter compared to Japan, and that's because we start school in South Africa a bit earlier in the day. Most schools in South Africa start at 7:30 in the morning and they end at 2:30 p.m. However, if you're in high school, you know that, or if you were in high school, you will know that schools in South Africa for high school students will probably start at 6:30 a.m. for morning study, and then they'll probably end at 3:30 p.m. for afternoon study, depending on what type of school you go to and what type of teachers you have and how far ahead or how far behind you are with lessons that you are supposed to have learned by now. And this also kind of works with teachers generally finish early, so when schools close, because schools finish at 2:30 in South Africa, most of the time teachers will also finish at the same time. At 2:30 they finish. Some of them don't stay behind to do admin. Some of them do stay behind, so this is more of a choice of like, oh well, school's finished, I'm going home, I'll do my admin at home, or it's fine, I'll do it here and then I'll make sure that in an hour's time I'm going home. So it's not enforced, and a lot of teachers don't generally have duties outside of teaching, as well as doing administration for schools staff, as well as students things, right? Also, responsibilities outside of class do exist in South Africa, but they are lesser compared to Japan. Whereas in Japan, if you're a teacher and you're part of the English club, you have to make sure like the students meet up for English club. Whilst in South Africa, it's more of a relaxed thing. It's like it's not enforced for you to come, but it will be lovely for you to come, type of thing. If I'm missing something or I did not mention something that you think will be different, do let me know in the comment section. I'll start with South Africa because I love how school holidays work in South Africa compared to Japan. But before that, I just wanted to say when I came to Japan and I found out how school holidays actually work in Japan, I was shocked. I was just like, I've never seen this before in my life, because in South Africa, you're not supposed to be here. Okay. So yeah, in South Africa, school holidays are actually off for both teachers and students. No one is coming to work, no one is coming to school, like nothing is happening at school. Everyone is off enjoying the holiday. School holidays in South Africa, they are meant for resting and to decompress from the stress of first term, if you were stressed or whatever. And it's also a time given to students to kind of like just take a break from all of the studying and the learning they were doing. However, this doesn't mean everyone gets time off. If you are in your final year of high school, in South Africa we call it matrix, or you can say grade 12, you know that you don't get time off. You are going to school 24/7 until you write your final exam in South Africa. You probably would get like 2 or 3 days off, and then you will have what we call autumn camp, and that means you guys will be learning and studying throughout the whole holidays, right? But yeah, this is also different. It depends on the type of school you go to, and also depends on the rules that the school has made for you guys. And then in Japan, things are totally different. During school holidays, students are off school. However, some students still come to school because they have club activities. Teachers, they go to school. As a teacher, you will go to school. In Japan, through the JET program, right? So the way it works is that I'm not off school. Right now, it's school holidays, right? School is starting next week. And because school is starting, I'm not off. I'm going to work. However, my students are off. However, if I want to be off work, I will have to take time off, right? But we do have some times where you don't have to be at school. And the way it works is that during summer holidays are from July, are from at the whole month of August. The whole month of August, it's summer holidays, and you only are given 1 week off. You don't have to use your leave days or your paid time off. However, if you want to use more than a week off to rest, you can use your paid time off, right? So you have more summer holidays, and then you also get another week off, and that is during winter vacation, and that happens during the week of New Year's. So the week where you celebrate New Year's, that's when you get the whole week off, because they also celebrate New Year in Japan, and they also have like festivals happening because of that, and that's how it works. But if you want to take time off like during spring holidays in Japan, you will have to use your leave days, as we call it, nenkyu. So yeah, and then with that, those week offs that they give you, they are paid off, right? So yeah, and the way it works is that we actually get 20 days paid off. I'm saying 20 days because I'm on the JET program. It might be different for someone who is an ALT through a dispatch company. Because of the JET program, all jets, everyone who's an ALT on the JET program, they get 20 days off per year, right? And then you will have to decide how to use those 20 days off, right? And that's how holidays work. The first time I came here, I was really shocked. I was just like, what do you mean I cannot, when school's closed, I still have to come back to school? Schools are closed, but no, you still have to go to school. Some students also literally, they come to school every single day for club activities. They come to school every day for club activities, which for me is just like, you guys don't have enough time. Like, you guys are not resting when you're supposed to resting, because in South Africa, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. Schools are closed. Okay, I'll see you guys next term. This whole thing with me coming to school because we have netball practice, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I want to rest, my teachers want to rest, we are tired. So yeah, that's how things are done. So you can see, based on how school holidays are, how they work in Japan, it mimics how the corporate world works. So teaching, technically, in Japan, as long as you work in Japan, you are part of the corporate world. There's no difference between being a teacher as well as being someone who works as a lawyer. All of you work the same way. You want time off, you have to use your leave days. So yeah, that's one thing that I was just like, I miss South Africa. Why can't holidays be like in South Africa? But yeah. So one thing I can say is that when you compare the two school calendars, you can see that with South Africa, you have more of a work-life balance compared to Japan. And also another thing is that with South Africa, you don't need to fill in any paid leave days. You don't have to fill in any annual leave days just to have a break, because you already know that every 3 months you get time off. You are given a week or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks to breathe and relax and to recuperate and decompress from the stress that you had the previous term, to prepare for the next term. Whereas in Japan, teachers don't actually have that. They have to decide when they want to take time off, and you can only, most of the time, you have to take time off during school holidays, and you have to be very strategic with it. And like, you have to make sure, like, if I'm taking time off on a Friday and a Monday, then I have 4 full days off of resting, and then I'll go back to work like that, right? What else? Another thing is that I feel like teachers are overworked all over the world, but in Japan, you can see it a lot because of the lack of time off for teachers during school holidays. The fact that you have to use annual leave days for you to take time off is just bizarre to me. But that doesn't mean anything. It's just me, right? And also, you kind of see how work is seen in Japan. In Japan, you have to work you have to work very hard. Like it's a thing where you like you live to work, right? Live to work, work to live. Yes, live to work. Where else in South Africa you work to live? Like you work enough so that you can enjoy your time off, and that's something I really appreciate and love about South Africa. So yeah, if there's anything I've missed, if you are an ALT in Japan, whether on the JET program or you came here through a dispatch company, private company, or a direct hire from a school, please do let me know in the comment section if there's anything I've left out that shocked you about the school calendars when you came to Japan. You don't necessarily have to come from South Africa. You can draw inspiration from whatever country you come from and compare it with Japan and be like, you know what, in my country we do this, whilst in Japan they don't do that. Do let me know in the comment section. So this is it from me to you guys. I feel like I'm speaking too fast. This is it from me to you guys. I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you.